Good morning, students. Myself, Professor Neha Dave. Today we'll be starting the chapter that is specialized technique. Now we are into the subject that is the market research. Already into the last session, we have discussed about what is market, what is research. Even though we have clubbed those words, and finally we got to know what is market research and how it is helping into the organization or into its any kind of its product like to develop, and even to how to develop the business also. So we are getting a clear-cut idea about what are the different types of tools also of marketing research. In last session, we have discussed so much of different type of research techniques also. We got to know what are quantitatives, what are qualitatives, and how the quantitatives and qualitatives way of techniques are being used. And with the help of the techniques, the thing is what the research, it has been formulated ahead with the help of certain kind of decisions. And according to that part of decisions, we are getting a clear-cut idea about the product, that whether the thing is how to run the product, and even the thing is how to develop certain kind of strategies. Because as we do the research, we are getting a clear-cut internally depth, a clear-cut view that what are the preference by the outsiders and even to the people who are been getting out those kind of products. Even we have went through with the help of certain sources from where we collect those data, because research, it is not like I've already said you previously that research is a continuous process. It is not a small process, it's a continuous process, because each and every period of time there might be certain changes, and for that changes we require to develop a strategy. So for that strategy we are doing a research, then only you can survive into the competitive world. As you all are aware that we are into the globalization period. So if we don't do the research, so we are not aware about the product and we are not aware the market. Even the thing is what into the last session we have discussed about who are the wholesalers, who are the retailers, how the intermediaries participates together, and finally the thing is what they do the, according to this they are getting the clear cut about their views, and with the help of that views they knows about it how to run their business. We even discussed about the primary sources of data and even secondary sources of data. Primary data are that kind of data which are the first handed, where we get it on the first time, or a first handed data. Secondary data are already which are existed, and from that we are getting a collection. Even last lecture we have discussed about field study, a desk research, what we have learned with it. Okay, desk research, whatever it has been there previously. So according to this we are getting a data, and we are framing a questionnaires, and according to this we are getting a views. We have even learned about the field survey also, field related research, like how the thing is the people go outside and from there they collect those details and all, and from that details and from that collections and all they get to know how the thing is the development of each and every sources will be there. So these are the different types of techniques where the thing is it's just in the first type of techniques. From with this type of techniques we are getting a clear-cut views about how to run the business, and from this business only we can move ahead. Now today we will be starting out with the two chapters today. First it is specialized technique, and second chapter it is what overseas means, that is called international marketing research. Now into the first chapter we'll just summarize the internal concept, because that it will be make you comfortable to move ahead as we go to the other slides. So at least what you will be getting an idea whatever the points we are discussing, and then at the end of it, once we have completed with this stuff, we'll go with the conclusion, that what is the conclusion, and finally what is the decision related and which type of research are being used. Into this chapter we are given certain kind of informations, a very depth information where I have given to it. Certain examples are being there, so we'll discuss this all examples also today itself. So at least what you will be getting an idea also how to develop into certain part of organization, and how this type of techniques are being used into the organization. Now first the thing is what first we'll be seeing the specialized technique. Specialize into this specialized technique, it is like already we have aware with the primary sources of data, secondary sources of data, what are quantitatives, what are qualitatives way, and from this we are collecting all the data, and finally we are segregating out, and then afterwards we are presenting in the front of, we are preparing a report. Okay, we have also discussed about the report session also. So that reports and all, how we prepare the reports, and finally how we present in the front of the organization. So these are the different, which already we have learned on the last chapter. But into this chapter, you will be learning about the national survey. Okay, how national reading survey means, from where there are more specialized in the sense there are certain way of techniques, more different types of techniques from where you can get those data, and that data which will be helpful for the longer period of time. So that is why what we are doing this type of sessions. So into this type of sessions, you will be moving into the internal depth of a research. Okay, so like into this, first you will be learning about the national readable survey. Okay, from where we'll go into the internally, but only just we'll go through the highlight of the point, which will make you to understand, like, yes, okay, this is the concept and what is the meaning of that and how it has been established. So first is this, second it is a survey where we are doing out, second opinion poll from where you get, next you get from the consumer panel, you collect those data from consumer panel. We'll be seeing even the test marketing. You might be aware with the test marketing, because nowadays we are going into the DMarts and herbs and all. So already this also I have discussed the point on the last session, that usually whenever the products are being introduced, so how we want to get those data and how we analyze those data by doing a test marketing. Test marketing is that part of it where the thing is the products are being launched into certain malls and certain hubs, and according to this the thing is what, once the thing is the people are accepting the product, and finally the thing is we are asking their feedback. So from that feedback we are getting out the data. So this is one type of a data. This is called consumer panel, and even the thing is the test marketing, both it has been there, and according to this we'll be getting a proper way of preferences of the customer also. So these are the different type of it. Then afterwards we'll be going out, after completing all the concepts, we'll be seeing marketing audit, how the market auditing it has been done. As already you might be heard the word about audit, but usually that audit which is only used into the accounts and all. But even guys, we are also using this audit into the research part also, because we are seeing out how the market it is working out, how the product it is working out, and then afterwards the thing is what are the consumer preferences there, and even parallelly the thing is how they communicate, and according to this they collect the details, they prepare the survey, they prepare a chart, and according to that chart they do the audit, and from that audit they get a clear-cut feedback about the product, whether to introduce into the market, and if you want to introduce into the market with a certain different type of strategies. So these are the different points. These are the specialized techniques. Okay, nowadays these are the internal types of techniques of a market research. After completing this type of chapter, first specialized technique, we'll go into the second chapter, that is called the overseas market research. That is, even it has been also called international marketing research. So into this type of research you will be learning about it, that how the thing is into the outside of the country. Okay, how the outside of the countries the products are being taken, and finally the thing is the research are being done, not even to the Indian part, because first we are, whatever the research we are doing about it is not into the internally way of the country, but even we are doing of the external country also. Means you can say international way, how we are doing a research, how the products are being came into the market, how they are having certain kind of different strategies they are developing out, how even the thing is we will also learn about it, how they do the field survey when related to the international market, how they do the field survey. Next you will be also learning about the how they prepare the survey reports, and finally at the end of the survey report, finally the thing is it makes a presentation, and from that presentation, means presentation in the sense whatever the data they have been collected, whatever the data they have been segregated, finally the thing is what they prepare a research report, and from that research report the thing is what they are getting a clear cut and the calculation, one proper way of ideas related, which will be convenient for the people to understand about it, how the international way the market research has been flourished. and what are the people are preferring, how the people are preferring, each and everything will be discussed according to this part of session. Okay, so now we already went through the hint, okay, internal, I can say outline of the chapter. Now we'll be moving internal into the depth of the chapters, what are internal concepts, and from that internal concept you will be getting a clear cut idea whatever we have discussed here, because whatever I've discussed you, that was just a way of getting into it, like this is the point, but internal concept will move into the slides. Now I'll just go with the help of first slide. First we'll be seeing about the objectives. Objectives means what is the purpose regarding to do a specialized techniques, what are the purpose. First, it is what, I'll go with the help of first point. Specialized technique is a market research are used to serve the specific areas and requirement of the sponsor. Why we are doing this type of technique? Because according to the sponsor's requirement, okay, so according to the sponsor requirement, we are getting a specific area, and according to that specific area, we do the research. So that is why the thing is what we do the specialized technique. Now already we have learned market research, but market research, it is not like that. Now whatever the techniques what we have collected now previously, quantitative, qualitative, primary data, secondary data, whatever we have been collected, it is the basic one. But to get certain type of data which is an important, okay, which is an important and which is to be collected, so for that the sponsors recommend to get specific areas to get survey, and according to this type of it, and this specific type of techniques are only used in that particular survey. Like in each and every survey, each and everything you can't do it, each and every techniques you can't use in each and every part. So that is why these are the specific techniques and specific where you can use a particular information, you want to get certain particular information, so we are using this type of specific techniques. So that is why you can see the word specific area. Okay, so into the specific area, whatever the requirements of the sponsor, and according to that part of it, finally the thing is we are doing a market research. So this is the first point. I'll go to the second one. This is the continuous activity. I have already said to you, it is a research, it's a continuous activity, whether it is a normal techniques or whether we are going into the specific technique, the techniques, it is a continuous process. Next, it is what? A systematical planning. Okay, what do you mean by specific technique? This is the way of definition of specific techniques. A systematic planning is required at all the stage of marketing research process, especially in the data collected steps. Systematical planning is required at all the stage. Now, as we do the specific techniques related to get those data, we get each and everything we plan according to the systematically. Means this is a normal one. Whenever you want to collect any kind of data, or when you want to get any kind of information, first what you systematically you planned each and everything, and after at each and every stage, okay, you use marketing research process. And with the help of this, finally, market research is used, and the specific methods, scientific methods, and that data are collected and analyzed to test prior notions or hypotheses. Okay, so these are the different part of it. Means it is one type of the specific techniques is that part of it where we plan systematically with the help of proper marketing research step, and according to this step, finally the thing is what we are getting certain kind of notions. Okay, we do the test prior to the notions, and second it is the hypothesis, notion or a hypothesis. We do the test. Hypothesis means certain kind of examples. You take certain type of example, and finally the thing is what? You analyze the data, you give the information, you collect the information, you give the examples, and second you give the case studies, and according to this, what are their views, what are their perceptions, what are their thoughts. You collect those data, and finally the thing is what? You put it into the research. So specifically techniques is used for this particular way, usually whenever you are using a market research. So that is why we move with the help of this type of point, because without this the thing is what? Your techniques have been incomplete. So to move ahead, the thing is what? We use this type of techniques. So these are the main purpose why we do this type of it. These are my main purpose of doing a specific technique, because according to this part of only techniques, the thing is you will move ahead with the help of certain kind of concepts, and which will be good for the organizations to develop more and more. Now, the outline of a chapter, I've already discussed to you the points, what are the concepts we'll be discussing. National Readership Survey, okay, the first survey, okay, usually whenever we want to get those data, I have already said, now, the word it has been said, specialized techniques. Specialized techniques means certain particular where you want to collect the data. So first it is National Readership Survey, Retail Store Audit, Consumer Panel, Test Marketing, Research and Advertisement Decision, Opinion Poll, Marketing Audit. So these are the concepts, these are the specific techniques related, specialized techniques related information. So where you are doing a survey, you are collecting information, and each and everywhere the thing is what you are performing certain kind of strategies relating to this, and from this finally the thing is what you are getting that information, and here you are using certain hypotheses also, because from this only if you are doing a testing of each and every one, then only you will be getting a accurate information. As the data are being accurated, so it will be comfortable for you also to understand, to go through the certain concept which will be easy to understand the market research panels. Now first we will be moving with the help of National Readership Survey. What is the National Readership Survey? Now usually I'll just give you the highlights, what is the meaning of the National Readership Survey, then afterwards we'll go into the internal. Usually those information you want to collect by print, advertisement, television, medias, promotions related information, if you want to do the research relating to that, so that is why we do this type of survey, and from this type of survey you get those data. Now see, to provide such information, okay, now this is the first survey, okay, already how we have seen primary and secondary one, qualitative and quantitative. Now the thing is what, into this specialized technique, my first techniques, what type of survey you will be doing out, that is a National Readership Survey. Now why we do this type of survey? First, to provide such information acceptable to the media owner, advertiser and advertising agency as the most relevant to assessment for an advertisement. As I've already said, this type of survey is usually used into the print media, and into the print media to get those information, okay, and from this information where you are giving for the certain particular area only which has been used. Already we have learned into the definition, for the certain particular area only we use that type of specialized techniques. And that only specialized techniques, into this the first point it is what, my National Readership Survey. So into this National Readership Survey, this is usually used for only for the print media. So my here techniques will be here which I am using, that is for the print media use. Now first it is what, for this where advertiser and advertising agency, how they require those information. So usually this type of technique is only used for the print medias, promotions and all, and medias. Why they do? Because the thing is what, they want to get those assessments data which will be requirement during the advertisement. This is the first. And second part, it investigates. Now what are the internal concepts they discuss? Because the first point you got to know, they provide information, but what kind of information? Only advertisements and advertisement agency, what they use of it. Second part, what they investigate, because here what type of surveys have been conducted. The first, the readership of all major Indian publications, that is daily, weekly, fortnightly and monthly. Now the thing is what, they used to collect the first three different types. It is used usually for the Indian publication, and usually daily they collect those information, weekly they collect, fortnights they collect, and even they collect into the monthly. And finally the thing is what, they segregates all the data. Degree of duplications among the various publications, even they discuss about it, even they get that type of research also where the informations, if it has been duplicated, means already the informations have been there, again you are collecting the information, again you are representing out. So that type of information is also been collected by the publication. socio-economical characteristic of readers of various publication of cinema, radios and television. The character who are from the socio-economical way, how they used to readers, what are types of readers who you directly prefer for socio-economical way, and from where the thing is the public from, and the publication here it has been given from cinema, radios and TV. So usually this type of survey is only given for an advertisement, okay, for the only for the advertisement agency to guess those details, and from the details finally the thing is what they do the survey according to it. How they do the survey? They collect the data daily, weekly, fortnightly and even for the monthly, and from this the thing is what they collect and segregate the data and which will be used for the longer period of time. So this is the first type of readership what we have learned right now. That is, even the thing is you can heard about it, National Readership Survey. The next one, it is what? A retailer store audit. Okay, I have one more type of research that is usually done by the retail store. Retail store means in the sense, okay, now already you might be aware when the products are being produced by the manufacturer, you can use producer or a manufacturer, and from the manufacturer already you have a manufacturer gives the goods either to the wholesaler, either he distributes the goods to the wholesaler, either he distributes the good directly to the retailer. This is the one channel. There is one more channel from manufacturer. Then afterwards the thing is what goes to the wholesalers, and from wholesalers finally the thing is wholesalers gives to the retailers. So these are the different type of channels where they sell the goods. But here when related to the retail store auditing, here what we do, we are using out that kind of resources which are used with the help of retailer one, and what are types of information he collected, and from this information finally the thing is what he do the audit related to it to collect and get those informations related. Now first we'll go to it. Retailer or store audit functions challenged by the resources and budget limitation. Now what are the information here he collected here? First it is what the challenge by and resources, budget limitation, multiple business location, regulatory reform and turning to the technologies to manage the often vast quantity of information associated with the store audit. So these are the different where the thing is what they used to collect the information from the different retailers, and from different retailers he used to segregate those information, and from information finally the thing is what he used to get those survey related information. So here the thing is what first it is what an audit what they used to do a particular different means here they if they want to collect some information, already we have learned accounts when related it will be there. So like there are so many different accounts, so we used to do in each and every accounts we used to do the auditing, but each and everywhere their liability, their assets will be different. Each and everywhere each and everything they will be the different. So here also they used to collect if they want to, because here we are using a market is the subject is a market research. So in the market research this retail store audit is also one type of survey where the thing is the distribution is more, customers are more, each and every resources are being checked, and finally with the help of this type of functions they are getting out the budget which has been accurated, and according to this the thing is what they are getting certain type of information. Next, this market research technique is effectively used to get the quantitative feedback from the market on the consumer buying. As I've already said, why they do this type of research? Because the thing is what they want to see about what are the people is buying more and more from the outside of the market, from the certain retailer type of store. So that is why from this they get accurate information. So for doing out to get those details from the retailer, so finally we do the retail store audit, and from this audit we are getting out the budget, the functions, the resources, consumer related, the buying process, okay, the selling process, each and everything. The thing is you will be getting a quantitative one. So that is why here you get a quantitative type of data which will be accurate for you to understand and to get those information, and even to get the proper feedback from the consumer which will be relevant for each and and every peoples to move it ahead. So that is why here see the budget limitation, multiple business location. There are so many different type of business location from where all the retailers they collect those data. Then from that data, finally the thing is what they represent into the market, which will be convenient for the people to understand further and to get accurate data relating to this. I'll go next one, that is one more point I have. While audit software has been available for the several years and offer a viable solution of making the store audit process, some retail organizations are not ready to take the electronic leap. So now, already you might be aware, usually for auditing, they have in software. Because of this software, they get an easy cut out of idea. But why we do the research? Because there are certain retailers. Because to get those data, already the thing is, it has been stored. And nowadays, whatever if you want the data, you get it into the electronic form. But there are certain related with the retailer stores. Some people have took their software. Some people are small retailer ones, so they can't afford that kind of software. So that is why they did not took a electronic way of leap. So that is why there are certain type of electronic where they took a leap. They don't have that kind of it. So that is why they used to do this type of retail store audit. So at least what they'll be getting an accurate information relating to all sort of it. So that is why while doing this type of audit related, they get all sort of information. So this was the second one, that is what the retail audit store. I have one more, that is the consumer panel. Consumer panel means where group of the consumers have been there, and from this consumer the thing is what they get the data relating to this. Their yes, no, their way of preferring the goods, they are not preferring the goods, we'll see to it. The consumer panel is a group of individuals selected by the business and organizations to provide input and opinion on the product and services for the research on the consumer behavior. What I've said to you right now. Here you have group of individuals, and from this group of individuals, the thing is what they used to give certain information, and these people are from the these people are the consumer, and from this consumer they used to give the information which is relevant for the organizations to run their business. And even with this, the thing is what with this goods and service related information they used to get. So that is why, and from this goods and service how they are consuming, the consumer behavior will be noting. So that is why we perform this type of, that is called a consumer behavior. Next, panel members are choose to be a representative of the general population or a target group. Now here you have a certain period of time the groups are being given, and from that groups they have been selected a particular one. But certain period of time the thing is what they into this all groups they keep one representative, or else the thing is what they keep only one group, and from one group they keep a one representative, and from that only the thing is they communicate. So here because and into this all group they are all a consumer, and because they are consuming goods and services also. So that is why from this their way of preferences, the way of their behavior, the way of their thought, the way of their perception, each and everything are being noted. So this is one type of it that is called a consumer panels related. So usually in each and every organization these are the one more techniques to get those informations, to get those data, that is the consumer panels related. So like you can see the word related consumer panel, where you can see each and everywhere where they are having the group of the people to come communicated, and finally with the help of this they are getting those information, and they can according to this they can achieve the target market, and according to this they can achieve a target consumer also, because from this you will be getting the preferences of the people, you will be getting out the idea of the people, and from this the thing is you prepare a report relating to this. But only this is only related for the consumer to know their behavior, their attitudes, the way of their talks, the way of their preference, the way of their likes. That is why we are performing this type of it, that is called a consumer panel related. Okay, consumer panel survey. I have one more point. Selection of a panel based on the stratify random sampling so as to represent of the population. Usually the member of the panels are paid cash for their services. Now usually for this when they have been called into the certain organizations to get their views, usually the thing is what the person has been paid the cash because whatever the service they have been providing to it, so at least the thing is the representative or is the person who has been asking certain questions relating to this, who is being a representative, so that person has been paid a cash also. Now for this this type of doing this type of consumer panels related, they used to have random stratified random sampling, means from the populations they have been created a certain particular one, and according to this finally the thing is what they collected those data and they collect certain particular persons to come and represent relating to the consumer behavior related. Members of the panels are asked to maintain purchase record and diary in which they record for a grocery, drugs and regular household products such dates as the brand. Okay, you're into this, each and every members are given certain type of records and diary what they used to prefer. Okay, and from this they used to write it out that what are the grocery items they buy, next what are the drugs, means what are the way of medicines items they buy, even a regular household products, branded one whichever it has been there they buy, and according to this they maintain those details. And once they are getting those details, finally the thing is what they segregate those details, and finally the thing is they are getting out the a certain type of data which will be relevant for it to get to know the consumer related their behavior. Okay, and from that behaviors you will be getting a proper way of data which is being collected during for a market research, because market research is not a small technique, it's a big technique. So that is why we are using these different types of channels, these different types of specialized techniques. And from this specialized techniques, the thing is it will be used and it will be comfortable for the organizations to run their business also. So that is why from this, at least the people, we will be getting out proper way that how the populations are there and what are the population, how they prefer that kind of goods. So that has been also been discussed relating to this. So which will be convenient for the persons to run their business through doing this type of consumer panel survey. Okay, now once the thing is what, when this information is tabulated and analyzed, the manufacturing has considered useful information available. Now once the thing is what they select already, the diaries are given, the records are given, and finally they record all those grocery, drugs related information and those the household items related information. They all collected the medicines and all information. Once they collected, they keep it into the tabulation form, and then afterwards finally they analyze it. Once they do the analyzing, the manufacturer has considerable useful information available. Even the manufacturer is having those information, and then afterwards they both analyze the data, and finally once they get the analyzation of data, it provides the feedback. Now what are types of feedback? Because when you do this type of the consumer panels related, and once you get all those data, once you get it to each and every information, finally the thing is they segregate it, and finally the thing is you analyze the data, this certain feedbacks you get it, and with this the thing is what you are getting a proper way of information which will be understand to you what is market research and why we do the market research. When we do the market research, we take consumer, we take manufacturer, we take retail one, we take a wholesaler one, each and every year we take about it, and finally the thing is we are getting that part of information, and which will be good for an organizations to do into the research part, and which will be convenient for the longer period of time. What are type of feedbacks you get? Estimating of retail sales. Now once you are complete with this thing, finally you get a retail sale estimation, like how much the per day how much he earn, or per month how much he earn, per week how much he earn. So that is one type of information you get. Next, number of competitors. Obviously consumers are there, so their preferences, their wants, their needs are different. They prefer different brands, different way of the money level way of product, how they want to buy. Some 5 rupees, 10 rupees, 15 rupees. That only product, if it is branded, they buy for 100 or 200 rupees. So that number of competitors, who are the number of competitors, because nowadays we are into globalizations, to get those data is really very important, and it's very difficult also, because consumers are there, their wants, needs, each and everything is different. But if you want to do the research, you need to get those data into it, and once you need to just run through with those data. Once you will run through these data, finally the thing is you will be getting an information related. So first it is what you will be getting an estimation of retail sales. Next you will be getting number of competitors, who are the number of competitors. Trend in the retail sales, what are the retail sales current trend, what are types of preferenceable way how the consumer prefer the goods and all. Last but not least, it is called market shares. You will be even get to know what are the market shares related, how the people are buying, and even the thing is what into the market, what is the position of a company, and how the thing is the products have been running into the market. So that is why that type of all types of techniques you will be getting that type of feedback when you do perform a consumer panels related. I have some more information relating to this. What are different types of, again I had a feedback, purchased by the new customer versus purchased by the old customers. Here is also being seen the both old customers and new customers purchasing also. What are the people are preferring, if the first time what are preferring out, already the people who are existing, and currently again they are what type of product they are preferring right now, that is being checked. Kinds of stores in which purchase are made, this is also being checked. What are different type of stores are there, and what type of purchasing items usually the people are preferring about it. So into this consumer panels you get all sort of information. The effect of price changes, obviously here is it has been seen if there is any kind of price changes are being there. So what are the consumer, their thoughts, how their views are there, how their perceptions are being, if the prices is being changed. Okay, does they buy, does they don't buy, each and everything it has been checked. Even here already we have seen about it. When we are going with the research, we see standard of the living of the people, that is economical way where we get all those data. The kind of stores in which the purchases are made, this is also been seen, the kinds of stores where the purchases are being made. So these are the different types of techniques, and with the help of different types of techniques, we are getting a clear-cut ideas relating to that kind of product, which will be convenient for you to understand the consumer panels related survey or consumer panels related techniques, which will be convenient for you to understand the market research analyzation. Now, there is one more way of specialized techniques, that is called a test marketing. Now, already we have learned so much different type of points, and from different types of points, you got to know the specific techniques, specialized techniques. And from this specialized techniques, I have one more type of specialized, that is called a test marketing. What is there into the nowadays into the market? Now, first we'll go to the definition, what is test marketing, and then afterwards we'll go into the internal concept. Test marketing is an experiment conducted in the field laboratory. The test market comprised of actual store and the real life buying situation. Without the buyer knowing they are participating in evaluating exercise, it stimulates the eventual market mix to a certain consumer reaction. So this is one type of test marketing. What are test marketing? Usually into hubs, certain DMart, certain big bazaars. Nowadays, if they want to, means if a business or if a organization want to start up with certain type of new product, whether it is the food items, whether it is any kind of cosmetics, or whether it is any kind of items, if they want to just start up that kind of items, so that is why they used to get certain types of retailers that are big hubs and all, and they introduce their product into the market. And this is test marketing is one type of a field way of experiment, field work experiment. And from this field work of experiment, okay, where the consumer comes, Okay, the consumer who are from belonging from anyone, okay, whichever preferring branded preferring whatever he is preferring out. But the thing is what he has not seen that kind of product what the company want to show to him or the company want to test it. So your test marketing, it is what one type of it where usually they used to have a one type of store, they used to keep it usually into hubs and certain centers, and then afterwards they used to place those goods, and then afterwards they used to introduce to the consumer to come and at least test that, to test, okay, whether they like, whether they don't like, and even it is not matching by the consumer also, but still we prefer him to come and to participate into it and to at least to know about whatever the products are been there. So here it is one type of an experiment what usually we do into the field work, and usually it is happened into the organization, and even it is being there with the help of hubs, and where the thing is the consumer are been connected relating to this, and from this the thing is the people are buying the goods, if they like, if they don't like, and finally once they are completing out, they give you one type of form, and from that form they are asking to you whether you like, whether you don't like, give your names, contact numbers and all. If they want to suggest certain points, they are even written into it, like to give certain kind of suggestion relating to which will be convenient for us, means an organizations to improve more and more into it. So this is also one type of research, and nowadays this type of also research which has been also been done into the organization through the consumer, which is directly they are having the connection with the consumer, which will be convenient for the people also to understand, even the consumer also, and even to the organization also, which if they need a certain type of changes, so at least what they can done with that type of changes, which will be relevant for it for the longer period of time. So this is they want to know, see a certain of consumer reaction. They want to see the reaction of the consumer, whether they like or we don't like, and if they like, what they like it, if they don't like, what they don't like it, if there is a taste, any color, any preference, any smell, anything will be there. So this all thing, it has been done into the test marketing. They want to directly connect with the consumer, and the consumer who is not aware with that type of product, he is only aware first time with the help of product. So that is why what happens usually, there are certain type of, if there is any kind of sauce item, sauce it has been there, any kind of Maggies are been there, any type of noodles are been there, anything it has been there. This is one type of market where they want to see the consumer reaction. So this is also one type of specialized techniques. This is called a test marketing, which is nowadays it has been flourished more and more and more. And from this we get so much of information from the consumer, because there are so much of consumer, and from this consumer we are getting out so much of data, and even we ask each and every information relating to whenever we are doing this type of test marketing, and for the marketers also. So with this you are getting a clear cut views relating to the consumer attraction related, okay, which will be good for it to get those information whatever it has been there into the market. Even what we discussed about it, if you don't like this, so what product you like, we ask this also, and what kind of juice, if I'm saying about it, if I'm selling any kind of juice, so here also even I asked about it. So okay, fine, if you don't like this juice, what kind of juice you're preferring, so it can be said real, Tropicana, any kind of juice. So okay, so what is the comparison? Do you think it has been compared? The person will be saying yes, or some people will be saying no. Okay, because the color, taste, preference is something is different. Because already the consumer is preferring Tropicana or a Real. If there is a certain other juice, the people don't buy. The people don't feel like to have, because what they think about it, no, it won't be matched. There are certain who buys that kind of goods, who see about it, let us go and let us prefer if we like the taste, because here the amount makes the difference, because that only juice what he is consuming, it makes the price is different, what I am selling that might be different. And from this here we each and every related with information, you get it out, and finally with the help of an information you get those details, and from this details finally the thing is you analyze the data, and which will be very convenient, very proper to you to understand the market research. So now according to this you will be getting out what are the consumer, who are the consumer are there, and how the consumer in current trend, what are their wants, what are the needs, and what are the customer require. Because here whenever you are doing a marketing, Okay, marketing is not for the organization. We are running for the consumer. Okay, it is not like marketing I'm not doing for myself, or else whenever I'm introducing a product, I'm not introducing a product for myself. I'm introducing a product for a consumer. Because if the consumer wants and needs are been fulfilled into my product, then only the thing is the people will buy. So this is the research part, and from this research part, at least what you will be getting an accurate data which will be convenient for you to understand about it, that how to run the business and how to analyze the information also. So this is one type of it way where test marketing it has been done. We'll move ahead with the next point, that is called what are the objectives of test marketing. Means what are the purpose and why we are doing this type of test marketing. The first point, it is what test the market with the consumer. As I've already said, okay, we are testing a market and according to the consumer also, because if we are matching out both the things, then we are getting a relevant information. Because if we are not getting that kind of information, so finally the thing is the people are not preferring out. For example, I can take Parle-G and even with the help of Bonbon, if I take two products. But the thing is what, in certain rural side the people will prefer only the Parle-G, but only in the urban side they prefer a Bonbon, because they prefer a Parle-G but more than a Bonbon. But if I'll be selling this bonbon to the rural market, the people won't buy, because it is a chocolatey one. It is very sweet. Some people like, some people don't like. And even, when we do the testing, we even calculate the age of the people. We even calculate the age of the people. From this to this age, they like this. From this to this age, they like it. From this to this age, they like it. But if the thing is what, at certain period of time, at that age, this people, they like it. So here the thing is, age is also being seen. So here the thing is what, test the market with the consumer. We are testing the market with the consumer, that how the market and consumer does they are matching or not. The first objectives will be this only. My purpose first will be this only. Next, introduce the product into the open market. Yes, this is a big thing. As I've already said, usually into big hubs, usually they used to have into the open market where they used to introduce the product first time, which will be more relevant for the people to come in the contact with that part of it, okay, and to know about that kind of product. Because if, now for example, Oreo, when it is being started, so on the previous time the people was not knowing, but when they started launching into the market, and then afterwards again they started with branding, they're doing advertisements related, so ultimately the customer attraction was more and more. So that is why this part of test market is giving a challenge to produce his product into the open market for all the people, okay, and from this we get all sort of information. Predict product performance and its future. It has been there because here how the consumer are performing, how they like the good, and finally the thing is we can see the future market. Does the people will buy or not? If Oreo is there in current time, the Oreo, whenever we say a biscuit, you have a Oreo. But how only on the olden period of time, previously the thing is what, only there was a Parle-G, but they thought about it, there was no competitor was there. But slowly and steadily the thing is what, from getting out the needs and wants and information from the customer, we got to know the accurate data, what is the present and what is the future one when related to presenting that kind of goods. Because how, if the people like the goods, we are getting out. So finally then afterwards we can store, give it to the certain retailer, certain wholesaler, certain manufacturer one also to sell the goods. So which will be growing more and more. So that type of information also you get it. You get at least the prediction. You need to do the prediction, that is the future forecasting. Test the consumer with the product, that is important. We test the consumer. When I'm doing a test marketing, I don't do with the help of product only, but even first I go with the consumer, because only I produce the goods. How I produce the goods? Only with the help of the articles and all. But here the wants and needs, how it will be fulfilled, when the consumer wants and needs will be fulfilled, then only my product will be done. As if I already said you previously, that market is not only for the person who produced the good, it is only for the consumer. If their wants and needs are being fulfilled, whose consumer wants and needs are being fulfilled, then only you can introduce the product into the market, because then only the product will be run. If the product won't be run because of yourself, because your product you are not making for yourself, you are making for the consumer. But because if the consumer needs and wants are being fulfilled, then the product will be run more into the market. So this is the one type of different types of 4 different types of an objectives, and from this objectives at least you can test the consumer relating to the product. Does their wants and needs are been matching or not, and does it has been fulfilled to get those information, and from this information we segregate it out, and finally the thing is we get those type of feedbacks which will be relevant for you to do the informations and to do the research relating to certain kind of data. I have one more type, that is research and advertisement decision. Usually, whenever we do the research into the advertisements way. Now, promotion of product and services and advertisement as a major promo tools in a general is become costlier day to day. Now, usually now the thing is research and advertisement decision. Now, whenever you want to do the research into the advertisements related, so currently, whenever you want to get those informations, it becomes very costlier nowadays. To each and every one, when you're producing a goods, and even you're providing a services also, which will be treated more and more importance and more information related, which will be relevant for it, and which will be more and more important into the depth to get all sort of informations into the proper way of decision making process. So that is why this type of research into the advertisement decision makes more and more information, and from this you get all sort of data related to it. Okay, now we have learned first with the research advertisement process. Now with the help of research advertisement process, I have certain objectives. Objectives in the sense why we do that type of research, and from why did we get the data. First it is what to review the planning process, why we do this type of data. First we get those planning process, from where we do it and from where we get the data. Next, it is what to understand the role of research in the content of advertising planning. Okay, here you get those type of data related to get those type of informations, and here you get the information related to the research, and which will be convenient for it to get those type of advertisement. According to it, what you can plan. Media research and selection. According to this, you can at least do the research and do the selection proper way, from where you get the sort of information. To study the corporate image, yes, obviously you will be getting according to this the corporate image, means the image of the organization. Next, it is was to identify the target market. As you get all those information relating to this, so finally you get the information which is called a target market, how you can achieve, and which will be for the long lasting for it to develop into the organization. So that is why we go with the help of this type of objectives when related to it, to develop more and more relating to this. Okay, we'll go ahead with the next point. Okay, now here you have two common methods, types of research. Now nowadays already we have learned different types of points, different type of specialized techniques also. Now I have some different types of two common methods are being given. Types of research. Opinion research here I have, and one more research I have. There I have the two research. First we'll go to the opinion research, and second I have the memory test. These are the two different types of where we get all sort of information relating to that type of it. Now first it is what a opinion research. Now from this opinion research, now first it is what a simplest terms. Now opinion, it is what here they want to see, like you have a group of the people and finally the product, it has been introduced into the market. So finally, they are doing a research. They want to know their opinion, that what are being connected relating to this. So because of this type of opinion where they can at least give their views relating to this, and from this views at least what they can collect the data, they can segregate those data which will be relevant for the people to understand for the longer time. Now see, in the simplest term, it is designed, collect, analyze and reporting of opinion based information. Now here the thing is what the data are being designed according to that way, collection of and analyzing. Okay, they used to collect, they used to make it the report, each and everything. It is based on the opinion based information, because here whatever the details they collect, they analyze, they report, finally it is based on the opinion. To guide the research work in the federal department and agency, the Treasury Boards of Canada Secretary provides a more detailed definition of a public opinion research, market research. Okay, usually into the outside of the market, usually into this board of the Treasury Boards of the Canada Secretary provides a more detailed information definition related. Usually this is being given into the public opinion research. Public opinion research nowadays it has been flourished more and more, and into this they have been started the first common research which was there, and from this at least they used to get those type of data which will be relevant for you to get more and more information, and from this at least what they used to collect the information, they used to segregate, finally they used to prepare a reporting, and according to this report the thing is what the opinion is based according to that way. So for this they can guide according to that way, which will be more convenient for the people to get those details relating to it. I'll go one more type of research, that is a memory test. And nowadays they even test the memory, how the people are preferring that type of goods. Okay, so to overcome shortcomings of earlier method, different types of memory tests which should be conducted. Now usually to get so much different type, there are so much type of different research. Now I have one more where previously we have been seeing opinion one. Now the thing is I have one more that is called a memory test also. Now there are certain some further categories. Recognition test, recall test. These are the two different types of tests. I have more tests. We'll go ahead. First, recognition test. Here the reports, here certain informations are being given, and from this information they used to get a recognition that what type of product was there, how the products it has been used, and now come on, tell me what are their views relating to this. So this is one is there. Recall, already the thing is what the informations are being given, and finally they used to recall all the informations relating to this. So from this at least what they used to get those informations, it will be relevant for them to introduce the products into the market for the longer period of time. Okay, we'll go one more test. Okay, I have one more, that is opinion poll. Okay, now already you have seen so much type of research related. Okay, research when you went about it, so you have already seen about opinion one, and second it is what a memorable test. These are the two different one when the common use type of techniques it has been used into the normal period of time, which will be convenient for the people to understand about different type of information. No, usually to get those data, so that is why we are performing that part of information. First it is what opinion one, second it is what we went with the help of memorable test, and from this memorable test we are getting out the information which will be collected, and finally we can do the research. I have one more types of it, that is called the opinion poll. Now how usually when politics, legal system, education system, these are the three different type of system where the thing is what this type of opinion poll it has been used. So I have one more specialized techniques, that is called the opinion poll techniques, and from this opinion poll techniques we are getting an information. Now see, what is first, in a democracy the opinion of a common man is given due importance. Now usually when into the democracy one, when related to we are into that kind of country, we got an independence, we got a freedom, but once we got information, we got a freedom. So here the thing is what, it is not like that. Whenever you want to ask any kind of information to any common man, so they used to give sort of information there, like what is right, what is wrong, why the thing it has been there. So first opinion, so here it gives more importance to the common man. These opinions could be variety of subjects. There could be including with the politics, legal system, education issues. Now, this is also one type of opinion poll type of system where they used to get all sort of information related to it, and according to this, you can segregate those data, and according to the segregation of data, you can at least prepare reports relating to this. So, this is also one type of opinion poll related nowadays, which has been there into the specialized market. Specialized techniques related. Now, a structured questions that was used during the opinion poll at the Lok Sabha election, and the sample outputs only for the one question is enclosed. Now, nowadays, usually this type of only questions are used in the Lok Sabha elections during, and according to this, there are certain questionnaires are being framed, and from this questionnaire, the thing is the sampling of output. That means what type of informations are being gathered, and that type of information they are performing the questionnaire, which are being literally according to that way they are getting those information, and then afterwards they are showing according to that type of it collection of data relating to this, which will be more convenient to get those information to the longer period of time. So I have one type of that is called the opinion poll also. Now, market audit. Now, already we have seen so much different type of, so many different type of specialized techniques. Now, into this first I have the one more I have, that is called a marketing audit. Now, already how we have done first audit, that was retail store audit. Now, here you are doing a marketing audit. Now, what a marketing audit? Now, here you do the audit which has been calculated with an environment. And from the environment, how we calculated those information, that is being checked. Market audit is a comprehensive, systematic, independent and periodical examination of a company or a business unit. Okay, marketing audit is one type of comprehensive, systematic, it's one type of systematical process, independent and periodical examination. Every periodical they used to check those information of a company, business or a business unit, market environment, objectives. Now, what are the things you calculated when you do the market audit? First, you check the environment, that is micro and macro way of environment. They used to get their objectives also, used to calculate certain type of objectives which has been relevant. Strategies used to develop certain kind of what are the changes you have been done, what are the changes have been happened right now. Activity with the views to determine the problem areas and opportunity and recommending a plan of an actions to improve the company market. Okay, then what types of recommendations if you have given out certain kind of changes you have been done. So that type of information, usually you can say all type of resources, all type of functions you calculated, you segregated, and finally the thing is what you are performing one type of report, and that is called a marketing report. And from this you get all sort of information relating to it, to the market, and to get about it, how to run the business, how to run the company, or how to be a competitive into the current market, into the globalization period. So that is why we make a plan according to this way to develop a company marketing, to develop into the company marketing how the consumer they wants needs. Means you can say how when you are running with any kind of business, so when you are doing any kind of market related to it, so how you are giving certain type of rule, and that this is one type of systematical process which you go step by step relating to this, which will be more convenient for the people to understand the outer zone and to internal zone, that how you will be running into the certain part of it organization, and how the products are being moved more and more into the market. That is why we do the market audit. We'll move ahead with the next point. Components. Functions of marketing audit, what are the things, what are the mixtures, you can say elements, and from these elements finally the thing is market auditings are being done. First it is got market environmental audit. As if I already said, we check those internal way of environment and external way of environment, that is the micro and macro way, and from this we used to collect those data, and then afterwards we used to segregate those information which will be relevant for the peoples to get more and more contact into it. Market strategy audit, if there you have done any kind of changes related to it, related to any kind of business related to it. So what are types of plans you have been developed here? What are different types of consumers you have been attached to more and more? What are types of age are being there? What are changes you have been done into the products, and or if you have done any kind of changes, so why you have done that kind of changes? So that is also the formulation. Already marketing organization audit. Okay, even the business organization is also business is also being business also here you do the audit relating to how it has been working. Marketing system, okay, what are types of system you are using about it, and according to this how you are running a market. So you can say about it, here you have a different components, and from this different components the thing is what the market audit it has been done. So that is why we are using this four types of techniques. That is why you can say it's a component. Components means it's the element. Whenever you do the market audit, whenever you want to get certain kind of techniques, so finally only related with market, so we use this different types of elements, and from this different types of elements finally the thing is what we are getting all those information. We segregate, we perform a report, and finally the thing is we make a feedback relating to this. So these are the different types of components also which we use into the market. At the end of a conclusion for a marketing audit, okay, because after this we'll be starting with the chapter that is called overseas market research. Now, the market auditors collect the data by interviewing the customer, dealers, sales representative, marketing executive, and the top management. Now, usually, these are the auditors. Now, it is not like that they used to collect only the data from their company, but even they used to get it out those company related who are the people who are been there, like customer, dealers, sales representative, market executive, and top management. They all information they used to collect, and finally the thing is the auditors they used to prepare a report relating to this. The more and more the market become complex and dynamic, newer methodological in market research are bound to come up with the help of marketing plan. As if I already said, it is a market research. It's not a one-time process. It's a ongoing process. It's a continuous process, and so that is why we need to have a proper light into whatever the research what we are doing out, and even whatever the products have been newly introduced each and every day. So according to this you can make your changes in each and every particular period of time. So you can use certain type of methods. I have used your word methodological. Newer methodological means new type of techniques you can develop here, like seeing out the outside of the people or other person related informations to it, which will be more convenient for the peoples to come up with new ideas. Because if you don't show any kind of new things, the finally the thing is your market, your organization, your business will be stable on that time. So that is why we don't want to make it a stable, we want to make it a growth process. Because here whenever I'm telling about the strategy related, I have a corporate level, business level, and functional level where our department goes. Because here the thing is what, from this corporate level where I'm not only making my company stable, but even I want to develop the growth. So if the growth I want to do, I need to develop certain kind of changes related to this. So that is why we do this type of marketing audit, to get to come up with the certain new ideas which will be more relevant for a marketers to plan according to that way a certain type of new techniques. And from this new techniques, at least what you can develop new type of strategies which will be longer period of time it will be developed. And finally from this, at least what you will be getting a research point of view, certain kind of information which will be more relevant for you to get internal depth information related. Okay, so this was the conclusion of market auditing. Now, already into the first chapter we have learned first with the help of specialized technique. Okay, like specialized techniques, what are different type of specialized technique, and each and every, now whatever each and every techniques what we have been used, in each and every techniques there was a certain changes. It is not like that it is the same. It is only one thing, in each and every stage or each and every point of it, only we get certain, we do the research, we do the survey, we get information, we collect the data, we get the feedback, each and everywhere. But the techniques are different, and each and every technique, it is only specialized. The techniques are being specialized for the particular product, for the particular industry, for the particular company. And according to this, the thing is what, the products are being introduced into the market, and even the thing is the research are being done according to that way. So that is why we go with the help of first type, that is called a specialized technique. Okay, now usually into the last chapter, just going out this next chapter, we'll first go with it. First we have learned the introductions of market research. We went into what is market research, how it is the market research, what are different type of it, what are fields. field research, what are desk research, we have already seen about it. What are primary data, what are secondary data, even we went through qualitatives, quantitative one. Even we got to know right now the information that is specialized techniques related, how the informations are been there and how the business are been running more and more relating to this part of specialized technique. I have a one more chapter that is called overseas market, where I've used the word international. Either you can use overseas or either you can use the international market. It is one and then the same thing. But here the thing is what you will be doing a market research which has been there for the overseas also. Because nowadays our product not only travels to only one country, but here the thing is our product travels to the other country also. So that is why to know more and more wants and needs of the people and to know about it, how competitive one we are into. Already I've said we are not even related to only for the one country. Currently we are challenging to the global. We are into the competitive way, where the thing is what for this competitive way you need to develop certain kind of, you need to do the research. What are the people prefer? Does the people are preferring this goods or not? Does the people are preferring that goods or not? Because that only which will be making the goods competitors and more to travel into the market. And from this only the thing is information will be getting out the research, and from this only market research you will be getting about how the consumer wants and needs are been fulfilled. So here you will be seeing into it what are first international market research, how you do it. Next, what are first should be going about the objectives, what are the main purpose of doing this type of international market, what are product price, place, promotion when you're doing into the international way, and how the research are being done. Next, you'll be seeing about it field survey. So field reports you will be prepared, you will be getting survey reports, how you'll prepare a survey reports when you're doing with the help of international one. So each and every in the particular one you will be seeing about it, how the overseas market research has been flourished more and more, and with the help of this it has been traveled for the longer period of time. And with this the thing is what you are getting those information, you are segregating those information which will be long lasting for it to develop the market zone also. Now first we'll be going with the help of internal concept. Okay, now first it is what are chapters O. Now what are my objectives main? Why we go with the help of overseas and international market? First it is what? Define international and international market research and provides to describe of immense scope, offer examples of each type of research conducted in international marketing. Now, what are my main objectives? What are my main purpose of doing this type of market? First, it is what to get market research, provide description in immense scope internally. Now, here the thing is we do the research because to get those information, what are been there into the international way, how they, what are types of information, what are consumer are there, and from this consumer how we get information related to this. So that is why we do international market related. Next, describe the steps involved in the international market research process by addressing for each step the international constraint involved. Now, in each and every way, whenever you do the research, you want to get any kind of information from certain people. So, finally, thing is what international marketing research it has been conducted. If you want to calculate the overseas market information, so directly the thing is what informations related. If you want to get the data, that is why you need to do the marketing. International marketing research. Now, introducing the concept of decision support system from the international marketers and describe the sales forecasting process. Now, into this the same, how we forecast the process of sales, that how the people will buy, they won't buy, what are their preference, what are their wants, needs, each and everything will be checked here. And from this decision making supports, the thing is what they are developing the standard of it, and from this developing this, as they're developing the standard of it, they are getting those information which will be used for to do the research for the longer period of time. So that is why this type of process it has been already been done into the market research. So these are the main objectives of doing this. Now, international market research. Now, what you do in international marketing research? International marketing managers needs to constantly monitor the different forces affecting their international operation. Yes, that is important. Usually in international market, those marketers are there, those managers are there. So they constantly monitor, they constantly look after each and every international operation, whatever it has been conducted, like relating to any product it has been introduced, the new competitor has been came arise, or how the product preferences are been there, what are different types of elements are being used into it. So constantly they need to monitor. So that is why this is also one type of market research in operations. International market research is especially complex. It is a complex. Okay, it is a complex because the thing is, what you won't be getting those information properly. So that is why it is very complex, because to get those data from the people becomes relevant to this. Because to get to know what are the people wants and needs and how they like or they don't like, so that is why this becomes very complex related to get those kind of information. Now, what do you happen? So usually you do into the market research. Okay, in market research, research is a systematical design. What do you mean by market researching? International marketing researching means it is a systematical design. It is a one type of systematical way of design. Collection, recording, analyzing, interpreting and reporting of information pertain to the particular market decision facing a company operating internationally. The same whatever, how the thing is, the company current, whatever the companies are, the international companies are in, how they are facing out the information, how they're getting out the information, and finally the thing is the researcher who are collecting the data, what they used to do, they used to systematically design all the information. Collection, they need to do it. Recording, they used to do. Analyze, they need to do. Interpreting and reporting, finally. And then afterwards, they used to get all this information segregated. And that is why finally the thing is what they used to prepare a report. And from this report, finally the thing is they used to get the international marketing research information, which will be more relevant to run their business for the future. Now, the research of industries, market characteristics and trend. Now, research of industries, market characteristics and trend. Nowadays, usually into the international market, whenever you do any industries, market characters or any trend, whatever you want to calculate. So what are the things you analyze? Because in international market, what are the things? Because when you are there into normal market, so you analyze different way. But this is what the globalization period, where you are analyzing, you're researching, you're doing any kind of you're collecting any kind of information, you want to design that type of information. So there are certain analyzation what you do, and from this analyzations you get a proper way classification of industries, markets, characteristics and trend, and this all different concepts what are being clubbed together, and finally the thing is what you get those information. So first it is what acquisition analyzation. Obviously, if there is any kind of company who have been merged together, and finally the thing is how they are running with the business. So first it is what you will be getting, that part of information, that is called a acquisition related analyzation. Diversification, if analyzation, if the company has been diversified with a certain new product related or any kind of companies related, so that type of analyzation what you do, and then afterwards you calculate those data from the people, and from this the thing is you get those information. Market share analyzation, obviously even check the market share also, how the people preferred, what are types of people are preferring out, how their wants and needs are being fulfilled, that has been checked. Export research, here even you check the export research, how the people are, how the goods are being came from one country to certain countries. So what are the duties you paid, export amount you paid about related to this, and what are the charges you give to this. So this all, and what are the people are preferring if the goods are being exported to the certain country. So what are the people prefer? How the markets are been preferring if this type of goods are being given free. What are their trend? Do they prefer or not? So these are the different type of analyzation. Whenever you do the research, it has been calculated, because from this only calculation, finally the thing is what you can prepare. You can collect those data, you can prepare those data, you can interpret those data, and finally the thing is what you can make it into the proper way of collection, and then afterwards you can interpret that type of data, and then afterwards you can segregate that part of data into the longer period of time. So at least what you will be getting a clear cut ideas relating to that part of use. Now, what are buying behaviors? Now, usually, whenever you go with the help of international buyers behavior research. Now, usually people are people, whatever the goods are being, whenever the consumer who buy those goods, their wants, their needs are being different. So here the thing is what international buyer behavior research. Usually international way, what are types of goods they prefer. Brand preferences, they prefer according to their brand. Now, according to the research, how it has been there when international way the market products are being introduced into this, and how they used to have that kind of their buying behavior, their buying thoughts, what their first brand preference, they used to prefer brand preference. Brand attitude, it should be have certain kind of development into their attitude related to their brand. Brand awareness study, more and more the people wants, needs will be related to that kind of particular brand, then only the people preferred. Purchase behaving standards, their purchasing behaving, it makes the study relating to it whenever they buy those goods, so their behavior change according to that way. Consumer segmentation study, here the thing is what at each and every, now already we have discussed in the last section that segmentation. Segmentation is what the particular area their wants needs will change. In each and every particular area, their wants needs are being changed. So that is why here the segmentation studies are being calculated. Means each and every particular period of time, the thing is what their developments are being done, their changes are being done, proper segmentations are being done. So here consumer segmentation studies are being done. In this locality, what are type of people they prefer? In this locality, what are types of people they prefer? In this locality, what are types of people? So in each and every one, they used to get the buying behavior of the people related to it. So this is one type of research. Usually it is done into the international way of marketing process. And from this overseas market related process, the thing is what they used to get to know the data, that what are types of brands are there, what are the purchasing powers have been there, what are the buying powers have been there. And from this at least what they used to get the behavior noted according to this way. Now, here now next research what we are doing, that is called a product research. Now, already you might be aware, like marketing is incomplete. How the marketing is incomplete? My marketing is incomplete because of the because if the consumer are not there, marketing is incomplete. Now, the marketing starts with the consumer and ends with the consumer. And second part, during when I'm seeing a consumer, I need to see about the functions. My functions are what? Product, price, place, promotion. And product, price, place, promotion. And the one thing it is what I want to share with you guys, that previously we was only seeing about the goods. But nowadays we are seeing about these services also. So that is why I have more 3 P's what are being added. That is product, price, place, promotion, people, process and physical evidence. These are the different type of it. Okay, just part of it information I want to share with you. So at least what you might be aware that these are the different type of functions, and from this all different types of functions currently into the organization and even into the market, product has also been that much only it has been goods. How it has been calculated, that much services are also being calculated. So that is why nowadays whenever the thing is the research, whenever it has been done, the research has not been done relating to only market, but when we are doing related to the market, they are even seeing with the goods also, and even particularly with the services also. Now here the thing is what already, now here I am doing a research how the overseas market do a product research. Because here, how they used to do it. Previously, we have been seeing market research. Already we have discussed in the last session. That was the product, price, place, promotion. And from this, you have already seen that how the market research was done into particular type of like developing certain type of countries. But this is when overseas market it has been said into the outside of the countries where how the products research are being done. The first point it is what concept development and testing studies the product. Now how once the products are being produced into the market, so then after what are type of research they do, because they used to introduce into the consumer. So previously what are things they used to thought about, and finally they used to present into the consumer. Concept developing and testing study, they used to develop the product, and then after they used to plan to develop a testing study also, because according to this they need to introduce. Brand name generations and testing, that is important. How the brand name they used to develop, and how the connection relating to the people, that has been also been checked. Product testing, that has been also been checked, like how the products are been there, what are the wants, what are the things, what are the elements you have been updated, that is the thing. Competitive product study, even if there is any kind of product which are being competitive relating to this. So first they used to study, they used to collect those information, and then afterwards they used to match the product, whatever it is being there. So this is what they used to get those information relating to this. Packaging design study, they even check about it, how the goods are being packed. And according to the packing, the thing is what, how it is being designed, it has been checked, that also. Test marketing, obviously they used to do, because product when introduced into the market, already we have checked on the last lecture, last session also, and even currently whatever we have been discussed previously when specialized technique was there. So on to that we have been see test marketing also. So these are the different types of product related research whenever you introduce the product into the market, into the international way. So they used to do this different type of research. What are the products? How the products have been there? They used to compare with those kind of products. What are existing products? Does the thing is the brand it is involved or not? Because already we have been checked previously. International market research is one type of brand, because they used to prefer mostly brand, and thus the thing is brand is more relevant or not, more informative or not. They used to check this thing, and finally they used to buy that kind of goods. So first it is what the product. Product is important. Now, second, I have been checked with the help of distribution research. Now, distribution, it is what are the different type of way where they used to sell the goods. They used to do the research of distribution, how the goods are been placed to the consumer, goods are been placed to the country wise. Here they used to analyze what type of research, what are type of information they used to collect first. Import export analyze, if the goods are been came into the our country, if the goods are been exported to the other country. So this all information they used to segregate, and then afterwards they used to do the analyzation. Channel performance and coverage, what are the different type of intermediaries who are been participate, and how the thing is what they are covering out all the data relating to this. Next, plant warehouse location study, what are the plants it has been there, how much warehouses they have, and finally according to they used to dump whenever the customer requires. According to this, already they used to place the goods into their certain locations or certain plants. So because whenever the consumer wants, so finally we used to pick the goods and directly, when then afterwards we can export it to the countries or import to the countries. So which will be more relevant for it to get those information. So whenever we are doing international market research, I have one see the distribution process also, and how the products are being distributed from one location to the other location, because that makes the research more complicated, more completely after getting all sorts of information. Because international research is not a one thing, how we have a common market research, what we do it. So the same, this is also not that part of research where you just cover it out only the help of certain, only seeing only one thing. How we see to it, the market research is the same when you see the overseas market, the same information what you collected. So next afterwards I have a promotion. Already I have been said to you, even the promotion research is also being seen here whenever you are calculating the international market. Whenever you are distributing the goods outside, so your promotion activity is also being checked. Well, how you do the promotion, what are types of techniques have been there. Now first, study of premium coupons and deals. They used to give what are types of, if you are producing any, if you're giving any kind of goods, so what are promotion activities you do it. So you used to give it on the free sites, coupon you used to give, vouchers you used to give. So what are types of it? They used to calculate. So what are types of vouchers you give? Does the product cost and the voucher cost is same or not? And if the costs are being differentiated, so what are types of, from where you are getting those vouchers and coupons? Does you are clubbed with the certain type of industries to it, so at least with the help of that being into the third party, and finally the thing is what we are communicating. So that all the things it has been checked here. Advertising effectiveness research, even how effectivity the research are been done relating to the advertisements. Okay, here you are seeing about it, because advertisements, it is not like that you are only showing one product. Here you are showing the internal concept relating all the product, because when my advertisement is complete, when I am giving all sort of information relating to the product. Local media research, okay, even what are the local medias who are been connected to that part of research, that has been also been checked. A study pertaining to the personal selling activity. If you have a personal selling activity relating to it directly, you don't do any kind of promotions, but this is one type of technique where you go to certain kind of face-to-face conversation where you sell the product. So they used to collect that type of research. They used to collect that type of information also. That is sales force compensation, like certain incentives, certain bonus are given to the certain sales guys, and directly they used to connect it with this quota, territory. Okay, these are the different type of it areas where they used to go directly connected to the people, and finally with the help of the connection they used to have that kind of easy way of transaction relating to sell the goods relating to it, and from this at least what the attachment will be calculated according to that way, which will be more easy and more convenient for the people to have connection relating to that kind of it. So your promotion is also one type of tools which has been there, and from this at least the research it has been completed. I have one more that is called a pricing, because here even we are checking about the pricing, because without my pricing the thing is my research is incomplete. Already I have said to you, marketing, you whenever you do it you have a product, price, place, promotion. You have a different type of 4 elements, but into the 4 elements you need to do the research. And how happens into the international one, how the goods are being sold. So here how the pricing are being given to it. So first what you do, here you study relating to the projecting the demand, because according to the demand the price high. If the demand is low, the price gets low. So that is why the thing is what the customer demand, how it has been, and according to this you are making the pricing also, that has been analyzed. Currency converter trade is studies. This is also major important, because when the pricing system it is coming out, so it is not related. If you are importing certain goods, if you are exporting certain goods, so what are the currency methods you do the transaction? If you are selling out that goods to the certain country, so it becomes converted that thing into the, if I'm selling the goods to the certain country, so that comes into from dollars to me, and my when I'm giving the amount it goes into rupees, but it converts into the dollars. But here the thing is what my transaction are being there, what are my current account related information, because when you do the overseas related market usually you have a current account transaction, because from this only the thing is what you can do that part of selling the goods into the market, and for this you require those permissions, those permission letters, those bank letters relating to it. So this is one type of research also. You just write it down, you make the reports relating to this, like this are the information whatever when we are doing a pricing related. So we used to do the converting the certain currency relating to this. Study of inflation rate and pricing, yes, that is also important, how the inflation pricing is there, because how the country economical standard it is been now, and then according to this how much pricing you're keeping according to that part of it, because you're seeing the economical standard also. Study of negotiation tactics, here is also one type of it, how you negotiate, because the price whatever he has been said. So like when you're doing into the business, you start doing a negotiation relating to certain products. So here, what are the pricing strategies you develop? So that type of research is also been done. So here in each and every particular one, you just calculate out those data, those information, and which will be relevant for you to get the pricing research related information. And then afterwards you maintain a report. And each and every particular where you prepare a report, which will be more convenient for you to at least to make it into the the development into the domestic market and even to the international market. But here we are speaking with the help of international market related. So here the thing is you need to prepare a report, you need to design according to that way. So with the help of this only you can move ahead fast with the help of the future. Okay, now here we have one more that has been related with the help of international business environment. International business environment. Now parallelly going with the help of the research, when you're seeing about product, price, place, promotion, when you have went about it, you need to check about the business environment also. Already how we check the environment, that is micro and macro into the common market research whenever you do. So you check the environment also. So here when you go with international business also, you will be checking those environments. So what are the environments? Okay, the international market management is the management of the business operation conducted in more than one country. International, it is what, more than one country where you are doing a dealing with related to it. So first environment it is your, it is what you're not even dealing with yourself, but even you're dealing with the other country also. Fundamental tasks do not changes, certain tasks do not changes, some only particular things what have been changed. Basic managemental functions are same for domestic and international, as if I already said, if there's a domestic market, international market is none other than the same thing. Whatever research, whatever you have learned previously, and the same currently what we are learning about it, we are saying it is the same market. But the thing is, what bit internally it might be changed, but the research, the people preference and all, it is the same. Greater difficulty and risk when performing on international scale. Yes, that is the sure. When you do this type of research into the international market related, so when to get those information and when you're doing a transaction related, it becomes very difficult and it's very risky when related to perform that type of market, because what it happens, each and every particular way, their rules, regulations have been, the regulatory bodies are different. So that is why to do this type of transaction, there are greater difficulties and certain risks which are being performed into the international scales also. So these are the business environmental research what you are doing into the international one. Now I have certain international marketing process. What you do whenever you want to get certain kind of research. A research process in international market. What are the first steps? Means when you want to collect any data to the international wise. So certain to collect those information. So what are different type of process you're into when you're doing international business related, okay, international market related. Now first, define international research problem and agree on the research objectives. First, you need to search a problem. What are the problems you're facing out when you're doing the international market research? And second part, the thing is, what are my research objectives? What are my purpose? Because from my purpose, what are my problems? I need to mix together. And finally, the thing is what? These are my three different types of research, and from this research, I'll be getting the answer. I have exploratory research, descriptive research, casual research. These are the different type of research, and each and every different type of research, I'll be getting different type of test. And with the help of different type of tests, I'll directly connect it with the consumer, related with certain reports, certain with the help of experiments, what I conduct, and finally the thing is that from this research, I get the information related. Next, set specific objectives. That is true. My second process of getting marketing research process, it is what I need to set a specific objectives. That is true, because without objectives I cannot develop certain kind of process related research. So that is why to develop certain kind of research, I need to develop an objectives, because without objectives I cannot build anything, any kind of strategies. I have one more, that is called a third, develop international research plan. You need to develop a research plan, that is important, international research. You need to develop the plan, and according to that plan you need to run. Define information sources. The information sources, that is the secondary one, you can get to it. Researcher must determine if the information is available, and if so, how reliable it is. That is important, because usually they used to prefer the secondary one, and into a normal market they used to get primary and secondary both, but these are the into the international market usually they prefer the secondary one, because from this only information, because how to get, once the thing is already the secondary information is there, from the secondary information directly the thing is you can collect it from that, and then afterwards you can develop the plans according to this. So that is why the researchers should think about it, how whatever the information I got, does it is relevant or not, that is important. Internal data is useful only if the company has collected similar information from the relevant respondent in the country with a similar environment. If a country is facing the same problem relating to that kind of product or relating to that kind of plan, so at least the internal data will be, then only it will be recommended, or else it won't be recommended. So but that is why the researchers should have clear-cut ideas relating to the, that is why the information from where it has been collected and does it is relevant or not. I have secondary constant. What are my secondary constant? Okay. Now, secondary constant, it is what conceptual evaluations. Concept have different meaning in the different cultural environment. Now, usually in each and every country, the secondary data, whatever will be collected, will be different. Their way of thought, the way of behavior will be different. So that is why that has also been calculated. Functional equivalences, product themselves may be used for the different purpose in the different countries' environment. So like here is also being seen different purpose in what type of they use and what type of they prefer. Relating to this, which is that type type of secondary types of data. Okay, I have one more point related to this type of it. Availability, reliability and validity. These are the three different type of points which are being checked whenever you're collecting that kind of secondary data. Availability, how available it has been there, reliable, how reliable it is the data, validity, what are types of reliable, validity it has been there. Accuracy of secondary data can be questionable, publishable statistically, may be unreliable. Sources of reliable data. Now here it is what reliable whenever I say, so I usually get from the World Bank, United Nations Development Program, OECD and Euro Monitor. These are the different type of sources, publication and some secondary data into my hand, and from this which will be relevant for those information which will be type of sources. So that is why the thing is where I collect this type of data which will be more relevant for it to understand, to know about the business also more and more into the different type of process. What are my primary data? Now usually primary data are that kind of data which are first-handed data. So like I'll just go into it. Information collected for the specific purpose to address the problem at hand. The cost of collecting primary data in the foreign markets are likely too much higher given the lack of appropriate market research usually into the outside. That is why the outside market, if you want to collect the primary data, it becomes very difficult because it becomes very costly for it to get the first-handed data from the certain particular, because these people are very reserved. So that is why there are certain things what they doesn't open themselves properly. So that is why to get those information becomes very costlier for it to get those information by the research. So that is why primary data makes more preferable, it makes more difficulties to get information, but it is very relevant to this. So that is why usually into the organization, into the international one, whenever they used to do the research, they secondary data, which will be more convenient for it to get those information relating to this. Okay, I have one more point related to primary data related. What are usually primary data are approachable, primary data whenever they do the research. So what are approaches they used to do? Qualitative research has particularly useful into the first step in studying international market phenomena. That is focusing groups on observation. Whenever primary data is related, if you want to get this information, you need to keep a panel. And finally, from the group, you need to have a focus. You need to just write it down those points. I have one more, there's observation also. You need to just look it out certain particular people, and finally they used to give their views. So finally you just write it down. So this is also one type of response related primary information where you can collect the data. Constant response can be affected by cultural individuals may act differently if they know they are being observed. So usually you might be aware like cultural coming because a person prefers according to their cultural way, their way of living, and according to this they used to give their response. So you need to constant look with the help of our observation. From this at least you get a proper way of ideas relating to the primary data which is approachable for doing a research. So these are the two different type of research. I have one more point, that is first we went with the quantitative for qualitative, now we are went with the quantitative. What usually nowadays it has been done relating to the primary quantitative research, more structured involves either described research approach such as survey research, casual research approach such as experiment. So usually into this quantitative research are being calculated. That is like content analyzing, survey research, experiment research. These are the three way of different type of research what it has been done into the primary data research to collect it. Usually constant respondent factors is infrastructure factors. Here the thing is mostly directly usually into the primary usually into the international market both the data have been relevant, but here the thing is more costly related to primary data because already secondary so finally from this they used to calculate those data. Sources of data, they already have a focus group and observation, they have the content analyzation, survey research they will be doing all, experiment research they will be doing the certain kind of information. from this information which will be more relevant for it to collect the data, which will be for the longer period of time, which will be developing for them to get their business plan more activated. Now, I have one more point that is called the data collection. How they used to, now what 4 steps, whatever we have been learned, this is my 5th step, designing a data collection instrument. Whatever the data they used to collect, so they used to make it according to that way. They used to collect that kind of information. Finally, they used to need to make that kind of segregation relating to the data. To the each culture, every instrument measures the same phenomena into the different culture. Certain where each culture are same, they used to prepare that kind of information. Different cultures are there, they used to get that kind of information. So here is the mixture of both the things they used to complete, and finally they need to design the research according to that way. Translations, instrument reliability, relevance to answer certain questions. So usually this type of data collection method is also one type of steps where the process are being calculated when you are doing with the help of market research process also. So because of this sort of information, your research will be completed. Now, I have one more 6th step that is called a sample planning also. That is important because without this, my collection, my data collection, it has been incomplete. So, data collection when related, deciding on sampling plan, whatever if you want to calculate certain more data relating to certain kind of research, you samples. And according to the samples, you need to plan according to that type of samples which you can at least distribute to the market to buy those people, and at least the people will buy, they will be giving their wants and needs relating which is more relevant to this. Now see, decide on the sampling plan. What are type of decide you do? Sample size, sampling procedure. And once you are collecting all your 6 finally the thing is at the end of it, my 7th step is collect, analyze and interpret. Whatever all the topics, whatever we have been collected, so that collect all the data, analyze those data like what are the wants, needs, what are the solutions, what are the problems, what are the answers you are bringing, finally interpret that data. Interprets in the sense of what are the data related you have given that part of information. It will be more relevant for it to more information and which is more information according to that way, which will be more collection, which will be more relevant for the market research to develop into the market and to develop the business also. So that is why these are the different part of a data collection method which is used into the international marketing to develop a proper way of corporate image also. Okay, now I have one more that is called a sales forecasting, what we'll be discussing here. Now, usually into the international market, sales forecasting is also being done, means where the sales are being forecasting sense which have been futurely, they have been calculated, like a future plans, how they have been calculated. So first it is sales force composition estimation. They used to have the, here they used to do the research, personal observation, expectation of a local sales force. They used to have that kind of connection relating to this. So according to this, how the connection, how they are connected more and more relating to the local sales force related information. A jury of expert opinion, there they used to get, here the into the sales force, here you have a jury opinion where certain people are there, certain the knowledge people are there, certain researchers have been there, and they used to give the opinion relating to that part of it, which will be developing for me to develop for the future event. I have a Delphi method. Delphi method is one type of method where the information, the problems have been given. According to this, they used to give their views relating to this. Expert to the estimated market performance, findings are aggregated and experts are queried again in the light of aggregated response. So according to this expertise, they used to give here their views, and that type of views which will be more relevant for me to perform the sales forecasting, and which will be more relevant for me to get those type of analyzation. I have one more point, that is time series and econometric model. This is also one type of research method where they used to get in time series and econometric model. Use data of past performance to predict the future market demand. This is called, into this type of it, they used to forecast the sale, okay, what the future future or whatever, and they whatever is just there into the present, and from this present they used to predict the future. So this is also one type of research methods of techniques, and from this research methods of techniques nowadays into the market, the researcher used to perform this type of strategies because they become more relevant to get those information. Analogy methods, estimating the method that rely on development and finding into the market. Okay, what are types of new development it has been done, and how the market find according to that way. With similar level of economical development here, when they are using that type of method, so usually similar level of economic development they used to check what type of economical development it has been market developing stage, the stage of marketing product, because product in market is also our bill analyze the data which will be more relevant for the business to develop. Now here you have point of sales research. Now usually you can see the numbering here, it has been given, made with the help of store scans in the market where they are available. Involves comprehensive store audit. You want to do the store audit, they have this these have been calculated. Forecast according to this information during the auditing one, and during the auditing one, at least what the information whatever you get, which will be information and people, and from the future event also, that what would be the position of the market to the more 20 or 30 years, more into the market, and if they want to make certain changes into that part of market also, so which will be more developed into the market and which will be more to this. Okay, I have one more point that is called a methodology. What is meant by methodology? Already we have learned it's called a methodology also. To collect purpose of making business decisions. Okay, this is one type of information where the one type of decision the method type of it that is called methodologically, which is directly for a the practical experience relating to the market, and from this market at least it is more flourished into it, and how information the market also with the development type of techniques. I have one more that is called we'll move into it one more that is called a survey. Survey. What do you mean by survey? A survey, it is what collects the information, is a census from all population, is a poll, if a political information, is a sample survey, if it's for just a sample population. The sort of information that is census population survey which is used into the any sort of information. So to get the data, this is a very important. Now, the condition of whenever you are doing any kind of survey, what are the main things? Okay, answer the objective. Should be accurate relating to this. So according to this, you should be a proper journal. Shows will be going up standard of the living of the people. Objectives which should be built, which will be there for the long lasting for it. Now, during survey, what you will be doing or whenever you are collecting any kind of information, that is important. You need to collect questionnaire in whatever the answer you have been given. If there is any point which has been again, you need to mention. So invalid question, invalid question, you need to have an interview relating to relevant answer. So these are the survey related you need to check whenever it has been given. Now after the survey, what are all the variables, both single will be seen, what are the singly and what are being checked like after the survey once you get it the data. Now statistical analyzation. Now usually whenever you do two types of survey, that to get information related to this. Now the reports. Now next it is what you mean by the report. Whenever you are preparing any kind of report, this data. Finally we calculate all the data. Finally what whatever the results you have been given. have been done, but the results are being there. So finally, you need to prepare a report, which will be more relevant for you to get the information easiest way. Field survey. Now, first, whatever we have done, information by interacting with the people, and from this observation, at least what you can in first-handed way. When you go connected with the people and directly, you get the information. Primary survey is also called a etc. So this is one type of field survey where you interact with the people. They have both the things, the mixture. So according to this, that part of mixture is carried out. Why field survey? Certain information finally you do the field survey, and this is also one type of techniques to get those type of data. Why field survey is required? Why you field science, and from this type of field science where we want to know about what is environment, how the environment is going on. So that is where that is so that creates a proper information. And the connections are being seen with the actual, and when you are having a relationship with, so this only relationship information relating to that part of research, and from this at least what you will be getting a